Yemen launches 1,000 Chinese-made missiles, and overnight, Israel faces its greatest shock in decades. Reports circulating across international media and defense networks suggest a strike of unprecedented scale, with speculation that this could change the entire balance of power in the Middle East. The claim alone has sent ripples across global capitals, leaving military analysts and governments scrambling for clarity. Was Israel really wiped out overnight, or is this a mix of fact, exaggeration, and propaganda? Today, we take a deep dive into what this dramatic headline actually means. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Let's begin with the breaking narrative. According to unconfirmed reports, Yemeni forces, allegedly backed by advanced Chinese weapons technology, launched as many as 10 long-range missiles in a coordinated overnight attack on Israeli military and strategic infrastructure. If true, this would represent one of the largest single missile barrages in modern history. Such a strike could overwhelm even the most advanced missile defense systems, including Israel's famous Iron Dome, David's Sling, and Arrow missile networks. The idea of thousands of missiles raining down at once is both terrifying and almost unimaginable. However, as shocking as this sounds, it is important to note that official confirmation is still missing. Israel has not released a statement verifying the attack, and international watchdogs like the United Nations or major Western defense agencies have not corroborated this claim. Still, the story has exploded across social media, driving speculation about what might actually be happening behind the scenes. Why would Yemen, a country battered by years of war, be capable of such a massive strike? The key lies in the alleged role of China. For years, analysts have warned that China's involvement in the Middle East could reshape regional conflicts. If Yemeni forces truly acquired advanced Chinese missiles, it suggests a major shift in the geopolitical chessboard. Such weapons could include long-range ballistic missiles or even hypersonic systems capable of evading detection until it's too late. Now, imagine the scenario. 1,000 missiles launched in waves, targeting air bases, naval ports, command centers, radar systems, and possibly even major cities. Israel's defense shield, while powerful, is not limitless. Each interceptor missile costs tens of thousands of dollars, while rockets and drones used by adversaries are far cheaper. Even if Israel shot down 80% of the incoming barrage, the remaining warheads could still cause devastating destruction. Let us analyze the possible damage. If Tel Aviv, Haifa, and southern bases were struck simultaneously, Israel's infrastructure could face massive paralysis. Energy grids, communication systems, and military logistics hubs would be primary targets. The psychological shock alone of such a massive strike would push the Israeli population and leadership into a crisis mode unseen since the country's founding in 1948. But could Yemen realistically pull this off? Many experts are skeptical. While the Houthi movement in Yemen has shown remarkable resilience and has used drones and missiles effectively against Saudi Arabia and the UAE, the scale of 1,000 advanced Chinese-made missiles seems beyond their current capabilities. It is far more likely that the number is exaggerated, or that the missiles in question are smaller, short-range systems rather than long-range strategic weapons. Still, exaggeration itself is a weapon, propaganda designed to instill fear and project strength. If we look at history, similar shock announcements have been made before. During the Gulf War, Saddam Hussein's Iraq launched Scud missiles at Israel, creating panic but not strategic collapse. More recently, Yemen's Houthis claimed major strikes against Saudi Aramco facilities, which initially sounded unbelievable but later proved partly true, demonstrating that sometimes impossible attacks can indeed happen. Another angle worth considering is the timing. Why now? Tensions in the Middle East have been rising on multiple fronts. Israel's ongoing clashes with Hezbollah in Lebanon, the continuing Gaza conflict, Iranian missile tests in the Gulf, and global rivalries between the U.S., Russia, and China. A story about Yemen using Chinese missiles to devastate Israel feeds into the narrative of a new Cold War being fought in the Middle East through proxies and advanced weaponry. Let's also consider the economic angle. If Israel were truly wiped out overnight, the impact would ripple across the world. Oil prices would skyrocket, financial markets would collapse, and global shipping routes near the Red Sea and Mediterranean would be paralyzed. China, accused of supplying such weapons, would face massive diplomatic backlash, while the U.S. would likely rush additional military support to Israel. The entire region could spiral into a larger war, drawing in Iran, Saudi Arabia, and even NATO forces. For Israel, such a strike would represent a nightmare scenario. Israeli defense doctrine has always been built on two pillars: early warning and technological superiority. An attack of 100 missiles would overwhelm early warning systems, and even the best technology cannot stop sheer numbers. It would force Israel into the most difficult decisions, whether to retaliate massively against Yemen, escalate against Iran, or pressure global powers to intervene. On the other side, for Yemen and its allies, simply claiming such an attack serves as a propaganda victory. Even if only 50 or 100 missiles were actually launched, exaggerating the number to 100 sends a psychological message. Israel is not untouchable, and the balance of deterrence is shifting. Now, let's separate fact from speculation. Verified reports do confirm that Yemen has acquired and launched increasingly sophisticated drones and ballistic missiles in recent years, many of which have evaded or penetrated high-tech defenses in Saudi Arabia and the UAE. However, no credible evidence yet supports the claim of 100 Chinese missiles launched overnight at Israel. Most likely, this story is either disinformation, a misunderstanding amplified by social media, or a smaller attack exaggerated into a massive headline. Still, the significance of this narrative cannot be dismissed. It reflects a broader reality. Modern warfare is increasingly about overwhelming quantity and psychological impact as much as precision and technology. The fear of thousands of missiles raining down is itself a powerful weapon. So what happens next? Israel will likely release statements clarifying what actually occurred, and satellite imagery from independent sources will either confirm or debunk the scale of the attack. If no visible destruction is observed, the story will likely fade as exaggerated propaganda. But if even a fraction of it proves true, the Middle East could be on the verge of one of its most dangerous escalations in decades. For now, the world watches closely. Whether real or exaggerated, the story of Yemen launching 100 Chinese missiles against Israel highlights the fragility of peace and the speed at which modern conflicts can spiral into global crises. Stay tuned for updates as we continue to track this developing situation.